you are independent. And this is your work. And defining what's worthwhile to learn. So Italian is my priority. For example, someone who likes food, Italian food, or coffee and so on, wants to learn Italian, or fashion, so French, Italian and so on. Teachers provide scaffolding, the framework. They will guide you, mentoring, advising. Your peers need, so think about definitions always. Always think about definitions. What's a peer? Someone who's having the same position like you. Same position, same social status and everything. You are similar, so this is a peer. Always use your dictionaries and try to get definitions, even for definition. What's the definition of definition? Anything? Any suggestions? So, welcome to the academic world or the scientific world. You should not talk by yourself. You should always supported, guided by references, books, and so on. Definition is the most characteristic feature of a special subject, a specific subject, in few brief phrases. This is definition. I can define you, the first year medical students. So details are not important. I can say that person are females and that person are males. Some are wearing glasses, that person are wearing glasses, so on. This is not important. I can define you by saying you are first year medical students, Surrey University, College of Medicine, that's all. Okay? So you need your peers, your friends, your colleagues, and you need mentors, teachers to guide you. Why? Why we should have self-directed learning? Positive outcomes for the learner. You will have positive outcomes. Self-directed learning or learners are motivated because this is your passion. Not every people like medicine. So this is the idea. So you have the motivation. This is your passion to become a doctor. Okay? In your future career, you will need robotic surgery in the next 10 years. Think about science fiction. The old movies all came true, right? You will need metaverse in training to become a surgeon, for example, in the future. Motivated, persistent, independent, self-disciplined. This is your passion, so you will take care of yourself. You will not waste time. Goal-oriented, you know what you are doing. You will have challenges, just like any other field. No external validation, so you will take care of everything. There will be no external validation, like you're studying medicine right now. For the content or assessment, since the individual is in charge of all aspects of learning, from deciding what should be learned to the methods and resources used to the evaluation of the success. So this is the challenge. This is the positive, and this is the challenge. Remember your first experience. If anyone wants to share his or her experience in self-learning, self-directed learning, anyone? It's okay. But you have a lot of experiences. You should think about it. Yes.
Well, I learned English on my own. It was completely self-directed by movies, music, and video games.
Excellent. You did very well. I can understand from your accent that you tried hard. Okay. This is an excellent example. The benefits. What are the benefits? Why should I have self-directed learning? Why should I try self-directed learning? Can be quite useful for those who do not have the time to enroll. So your friend tried his best to learn a good English by himself because you may not have enough time to get enrolled in formal courses and degrees, as well as for those who cannot travel to a specific location. So you don't have you don't have enough time to go to that institute. So I'll try at home. You'll have a lot of resources, YouTube, okay, social media, and so on. This is the idea. Any question, please? Is it clear for you? Okay. Self-directed learning is neither location constrained, you will do it at your home, where you are sitting, okay? No location constraint, nor time bound. And all that's needed is that you should have a laptop or a computer, an internet connection. That's all. That's all what you need. Indeed, the fact that self-directed learning can take place from the comfort of anywhere. So this is a blessing. Time, money, and place. Think about it. Think about your age now. This is not something permanent. You will get old in the future. Okay? So don't waste your time. So, your friends that have tried to learn a good English by himself, this is something that he can revise right now. What he did, and he will get tips to make his experience more fruitful. It's a 4-step process. You will have 4 steps in self-directed learning. Think about anything that you want to learn. For medical doctors or medical students, you will need a good background in computer science, right? It's not like previously. 20 years ago, nobody, no of the medical students were using internet or laptops and so on. So think about some experience that you want to do. And this is your guide. There are 4 steps or 4 key stages to initiate your self-directed learning experience. You will have 4 steps. You should be ready, please. Ready to learn. I'm ready to start medicine, for example. Although this is not a self-directed learning, but so imagine that you are studying in the College of Medicine. It's a self-directed learning process. So you should be ready to learn. You should have your own goals. And I'll teach you how to have your goals in your life or in your study, more precisely. There is a very wonderful approach called SMART, S-M-A-R-T, abbreviations, and you will know about it after a while. And third, engaging in the learning process. You should start. You should engage in the learning process. And you should evaluate the learning process. Always, there should be evaluation. Always. You should assess your readiness. This is the first step. You should be ready. Students need various skills and attitudes towards learning for successful independent study. You will need computer science, how to use computer, for example, how to put your files, how to share your files. Think about e-learning, distant learning, what has happened in the last 2 years, online classes. الهاي سكول تعبوني الهاي سكول online لكاتي كورونا. So some had that. In the College of Medicine, we had online teaching classrooms. By the way, you are having online, you are having Google Classroom. Your lecture is over there, but you are not having university emails to get access. They will do it for you in the next days. Yeah. Yes. Okay. So what are my needs to start the process? This step involves students conducting a self-evaluation of their current situation. My English level right now, you can go to somewhere, they will assess your English. American University in Zurich, there is an English test, English placement test. They will tell you exactly your level. Your level, I'm talking about English language, for example. Or driving, or anything else, or any skill, or, okay? Current situation, study habits. Study habits. You are not the same person. Everyone has his or her own style, right? In studying. Think about your sister, your brother, and so on. Study habits. Family situation. Not all people are rich or having access to the internet in that way. So this is my reality. This is my financial situation. This is my family situation. And support network. Who are supporting you? My dad, my mom, and so on. My uncle, my aunt, and so on. You should have people that are supporting you in your step, what you are trying to do. Assess all those things. School at school and home, involves evaluating past experiences with independent learning. So I tried that. It was very difficult for me. I'm not a big fan of self-directed learning. Some people may say that. So this is the evaluation, your past experiences. Signs of readiness. So how should I know that I'm ready for that new experience? Being autonomous. You have decided by your own that you will start that experience. Organized, self-disciplined. Self-disciplined. Discipline is the key for a lot of civilizations like the Japanese people, Korean. Think about BTS. Yeah, I know. Yeah. This is the K-pop, why they are dominating the planet right now. There are good documentaries about the Korean. 30 years ago, Iraq was better than Korea, South Korea, 30 years ago. So this is called the soft power of Korea, of Germany, football, and so on. They use whatever available to influence other nations. So that's the BTS and the K-pop and so on. Okay? Able to communicate effectively. Communication is very important. Communication, how to communicate with your colleagues, friends, families, your college professors, how to communicate. We have a module. Communication skill is one of the, you will start to study communication skills, because in the future you are dealing with patients. How to, someone who's in pain, already in pain, or having cancer, or COVID-19, and so on. How to take history from a patient with COVID-19, or cancer, or psychiatric illness, mental illness, and so on. And able to accept constructive feedback. You should not be mad at someone who is telling you that you are talking too much. You are not giving enough time for your opposites. You should give time. Okay? Always. And engage in self-evaluation and self-reflection. These are the things that you need, that will tell you that you are ready to do that experience. Setting goals. So, I want to know about that thing that much during that time. Okay? You should know what you are doing. And I'll teach you how to start to set your goals through smart goal setting method. You should have learning contracts. Your instructor, you cannot become a self-learner without having an instructor. Someone who's good at that thing. You should, if you want to learn swimming, you should know a professional swimmer. Okay? So you will take advice. So if I need anything about IT, we have a guy in our college who's a friend. I'm asking him about a lot of aspects regarding computer science. This is, you can consider that an instructor. So the learning contracts includes the following. You should have the learning aqd, contract. You should have that to start, before starting your the next step. What are the learning contracts? Goals for the unit of study. Now I'm telling, please keep, quiet or silent. I don't know. What's the difference between quiet and silent? You can talk. This is quiet, the quiet and silent. Search for that. This is a home assignment, okay? Goals for the unit of study. So that part that I want to learn, I'll call it from now, unit of study, a unit. Why I'm using unit? It's measurable. فلانك زيركنية وقسنية. So you should have measuring units, like the metric system. How to measure something. Always, we want feedbacks that are measurable. From 0 to 10. You are hearing about that every time, right? Like gram, second, meter. Okay? What's a gram? Bo gram or ne ziyatni or ne kamtini. Why? This is the basic of the metric system. It's the amount that have been put in the museum of the Institute of SI, System International in French. They put that much of amount in a jar, a vacuum jar, and so on. And the definition being updated the last year. Okay? Structure and the sequence of activities. You should not jump from or jump between steps. I start like that, and the next step. So someone who is willing to have a good English will start with reading, writing, and yes, after that. So this is the priorities, listening, and so on. So writing is very difficult. Write an essay about COVID-19. This is more difficult than listening or reading. So that's the sequence of units. Timeline. You should not say, I want to change the world. This is not a proper way. This is rubbish. To change the world, there's nothing called changing the world. I want to do something measurable. Okay? I want to make myself better, for example. Or my grades, and so on. Something that's measurable. Structure and sequence of events. Timeline. You should not say, in the next 10 years, I want to learn English. This is not an appropriate step. 10 years, wasted 10 years, you can do it in 1 month. You should ask someone who is an expert. Details about the resource materials. What are the things that I may need? Feedback and evaluation. Meeting with your advisor, instructor. So this is SMART approach. S, specific. State exactly what you want to accomplish. S, state exactly what you want to accomplish. Measurable. Use smaller mini goals to measure progress. Achievable. Change the world is not achievable. You can say to become rich, this is achievable, yeah. Or become a doctor, it's achievable. become a good doctor is achievable. But becoming the best doctor is something in the world. This is something, yeah. Realistic. Make your goals reasonable, achievable. Realistic. Set goal that is relevant to your life. You cannot become the best doctor in this society, for example. Someone who's practicing in the States, in UK, in Europe, they have, not because they are better than you, they have more chances working in a healthy environment as medical doctors. It is very difficult, although many of our graduates are brilliant doctors in the States and UK, Germany, France, and so on, right now. They are surgeons. They are excellent doctors over there. And we have, some are the best doctors in their countries. So they did that step. I'll go to have a degree over there and start to practice. So they improve themselves. Timely, give yourself time, but set a deadline. Yeah, this is the goal, smart setting goal system. Any question, please? Ask freely. Any examples, anything to share? Yes?
Is it necessary that your goal must be achievable? Maybe you are trying to do something that is impossible for now, but you are trying to make it possible.
Yeah, possible in the future, this is achievable. Right? Tell me your example, and I'll tell you.
For example, in the history, going to space was something impossible. They could not do it. But now it's possible and so normal. When you talk about
Give me examples.
For now,
Think about something in your mind.
trying to find a cure for a disease, for example.
This is achievable. This is science. You should believe in science, right? The vaccine, the mRNA vaccine, the first time in history. Please, one other, Jamal Lajzni. Please. Sky. The two guys, a wife and a husband, the German couple that founded the Pfizer BioNTech. They founded the BioNTech company in Germany, in Mainz. They started research in the 90s. In the 2000 something, they started working on mRNA vaccine. So when the crisis of COVID-19 came at that time, 2 years ago, or 1 year ago, yeah, let's say the beginning of 2020, so they were ready, supported by huge amount of papers, research. So applied that on COVID-19, taking the mRNA that will be translated to the spike protein of, this is achievable. Now they are working, they are trying, they already did the cancer vaccine for skin cancer using mRNA. Cancer vaccine. So this is achievable. But it should be, you should have,
logical.
You should stand, what Sir Isaac Newton said, standing on the shoulder of giants, people before you. That's why in medical or in science textbooks, the first few papers are about the people who started that science. Okay? In immunity, we have Edward Jenner, a British physician, English physician. He practiced smallpox vaccination, saved life more than any single person on the planet. Yeah, think about the impossible or possible. Impossible according to what, and possible according to what. There is a thin line between two. And we can have a lot of discussions. Something previously were impossible because they didn't know about that or didn't knew about that thing at that time. Engage in the learning process, step 3. Students need to understand themselves as learners. You are a learner. You are not a teacher. كتب با professor بي با consultant, doctor or physician بي كتشوف كل plan should we put student. This is the idea. Whenever you are starting your step, you are a student, not a teacher, or not that important. You should answer the following questions. What are my needs? Read. Use your dictionary to know, read. Yeah. What are your needs? You should answer those questions. Not all people are having a self-directed English class with the same level. So what are your needs right now? Who was my favorite teacher and why? Anyone can tell me, I have my favorite teacher. My biology teacher was the best. Yes. Yeah. Lucas second start. At that time, it was the best high school institution. But that is the shield of God. So think about your favorite teacher that inspired you, and why? What was the different thing about it? What did they do that was different? Answer yourself. Okay? Yeah. Iska speciali je kaj na sako. Please. This is called discipline. Okay. وصلنا نقول كده small class بي تواني joke بي. Small class channel دوانزا students. You can eat while having lectures. This is quite okay, but not in a class of some 300 students. Now, we will replace teacher with instructor. 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 Try to find the definition of instructor. So, what are, okay, here, what are my needs? Which instructional methods, instructional teaching methods, according to GMC, German Medical Council, نقابة أطباء فيزيشكان بريطانيا, all doctors should be teachers. كتوصفين أبيبا دكتور، أبيبا مقيم، وين مقيم مقدم ده أبيبا أخصائي، وين مقيم يا بلايتو، مقيم مقدم تو أجر سيرجن بي أجر حد سبيشالتي كتبه، خلاص يتوفر يدي. So all doctors should practice teaching. All medical doctors. In the hospital, in the future, after becoming specialists, consultants, and so on, you will teach other doctors. So if they cannot teach properly, you will not get the best from them. We have brilliant doctors, but they may not have that skill to teach. So the instruction, this is not so essential for you. We have two types of teaching methods. What I'm doing now is teacher-centered. You have X and Y axis. This is the teacher-centered, this is student-centered. We have high-tech and low-tech. So I'm standing right now here, or let's say, we cannot consider using a data show high-tech. So there is student-centered and teacher-centered way of teaching. You can use high-tech or low technology. Tech means technology. And this is in detail what I mean. What we did last year, online classes through Google Classroom or Zoom. This is called flipped. This is flipped classroom. Now we have part practice manager. undergraduates, graduates, board, diploma, MSc, PhD, online classes, even webinars. Instead of attending conferences, we used to participate in conferences online or let's say virtual conferences and so on. أما بو إيه وزور مهمة والله هربو يبزان teaching methods or instructional methods broadly classified as student center. We cannot do student center with 300 students, but it's okay with it's practiced with small groups. I'm system AWA originally based on small group teaching. Now, any question, please? Anything you want to share or ask? We have 3 approaches for studying: deep approach, surface approach, strategic approach. The surface approach, بس بو درجة, copying, recalling. Someone who loves biology will always love medicine. Biology, chemistry. I will share my experience. My biology teacher in high school, Polly Dwanzo, inspired me, and at that time was my decision to become a medical doctor. Okay, so surface approach involves reproduction, copying. So you will memorize and you will answer questions and you will pass. Yeah. Yeah. So this is another thing: long-term memory and short-term memory. Copying with unit requirements. So the requirement is to know what's self-directed learning. Let's talk about this lecture, my lecture, this 2 hours class. So you can just copy what are the requirements, or you can go deeper. It involves transformation. بود أسام كم تلقى من لبريناكم بأسلوب خمينيس. So the cell structure is the same whether you are copying from the textbook, nucleus and nucleus, cell membrane, nucleus, mitochondria, and so on, DNA. And you can put it down according to the way that you want. This is called deep. This is ideal for self-directed learning. So the key is your passion. Passion. If you want to become a medical doctor, you always, those guys, unconsciously, they love biology, human body and so on, right? You have a strategic approach. Involves organization, achieving the highest possible grades. Yakamakan. Basically, you are Yakamakan. One, high school. بيمكنوا بوتشي همو يكمكيت. بس همو, it's not necessary for all to become brilliant doctors. This is the key answer. Strategic approach is very important. Learn what's required to pass exams, memorizing facts, spending time practicing from past exams. تربيوات عن لقلاب وهرسي كوني هرسي رعكت عن لقلاب ولا هاي سكولا هبو بس عيك الجو امتحان هبونا أسلوبي سايل خويه سعيك الجو دواعي بنو إيش كانوا سيوتيو بتاعي يم سيستمية وبس single choice no need to do anything يعني يكون يبغى مستايل خوه أما زور آساني كده بوي درجة سال زور yes يعني أتواني بأساني أو أنا كي ما بس دوية يعني بوي زورت له لتشاو جارانا جاران أو سؤالاني كيسيبوا دري هنا شيء زيادة أما يكدوا عفوا deep approach أواني كاستراتيجيك approach يعني يكمكان بون يعني study from past exams experience co-occur. This is the key step. You should build your future based on your experiences and your history. وناتوين يكسر لبركة هم شركين. Evaluate learning. من تشيو كردو. For students, for a student to be successful in self-directed learning, they must be able to engage in self-reflection. Reflection means giving opinions about something. Reflect on the lecture. Regularly consult with advising instructor, seek feedback, engage in reflection of their achievements, which involves asking, how do I know I have learned? Am I flexible in adapting and applying knowledge? Do I have confidence in explaining material? When do I know I have learned enough? When is it time for self-reflection and when it is time for consultation with the advisor? Okay? You have, both parties are having responsibilities. The learner, the self-directed learner, and the instructor. So from your side, talking about your side, self-assess your readiness to learn. Define your learning goals. We talked about that, the previous steps. Monitor your learning process. Take initiative for all stages of the learning process. Be self-motivated. To hazard lay. Zanato, help man here, Kori bas, K-pop marker bas, BTS marker. How they Korean nazar, what I kind of This is called motivation. Yeah, Chinese, yeah, Japanese. Okay? So this is called motivation. Passion. Reevaluate, consult. These are your responsibilities. Your instructor's roles: build a cooperative learning environment. من ناتوا محاضرة بتوبلمو جود لنقرم من بيجوا بيا مجورة توبل ونيا سيرفيك ممكن تيتا ممكن تيتا ونقرم نادو يكسر كشتيك دويز يكسر بلا مربي أو بويا كليلا كما موديولك university work environment, but I know your current situation. This is not ideal for university study. فترة أخينا خوشبو دوا كوتنو أمانو خوي درجة درم درشو ونيا. So I did a survey with one of your colleagues. What about the module? Bunda kuvichu atana fiona the general regulation. Abek salan çuaram session. Çuaram session. Nabe ba hostile be. To garecha instructor to nabe nail and something. Nabe nail to instructor yikchebi. Think about your siblings, smaller brothers and sisters. Security trust you, okay? Facilitate students' initiatives for learning. Please. جاي واحد تنازعني حزد لتشيا بطاوتي. A good instructor can inspire you to pick up a future career. إيش أبغى ديكا؟ بعكس يشوا. إيش خراب واديكا رحت لا ما ديكا استي بس أنا عتوني. همو صالة من برسالة همو يوكين إيش تان السركين همو صالة. ما مستوى هذا وايد الطلبة كردور نقيلة ما فيه. Why? Math. أساسي همو ساينس قال لما تسنيش math لوجيك تونات يعني حسد ببيبة دكتوريا ببيبة إيش لا ساينس إيش كحسد لا math. So this is the duty of the instructor. So teaching medicine through movies is a very good idea for you. I'm teaching immunodeficiency, the most difficult. In the college topic, the College of Medicine is immunity. The most difficult subject in immunity, the most difficult topic in immunity is immunodeficiency. The most difficult sub-subject in immunodeficiency is primary immunodeficiency. So I'm teaching primary immunodeficiency through a movie. There is a good movie, the first movie of John Travolta, A Boy in the Plastic Bubble. The Boy in the Plastic Bubble. The first movie, you know what I'm talking about. So go back and search in Google, The Boy in the Plastic Bubble. He's talking about, the movie is talking about David Vetter. The first child with SCID, severe combined immunodeficiency, who they did bone marrow transplantation, a patient, the history, the Chicago, the States, they did bone marrow transplantation for David Vetter. So teaching through the proper way is very useful. House in your house and the
Dr.
Gregory House, yes. So that episode, it is not lupus. Because when you have a doctor in jazz, it is not lupus. Okay? So as an advisor, rather than a formal instructor. Previously, instructors or teachers were very rigid. That is very stiff. Now it is not like that. The science is evolving. So, quick tips. Kasper Siari here. Any question, please? Yes. Yes. أما مشكلة society أمريكا قصة in general قصة. So my goal is فرقون طاقوني هي بله يريد كذا. Set up your goals. I want to learn that thing. Why? This is a general term. This is more specific. Welcome to the university. You will have specified terms, goals. So your goals is to get driving license. Learn French. Who said that? But, can you say it in English? A more developed language. In those English speakers, whenever you are saying anything, they will tell you. They will ask the following questions: why, what, who. Amane. So English language, for example, that we are talking right now. I'm a background on English. Every day is evolving. What's a vlogger? What's an influencer? What's a metaverse? Every year, Oxford, Cambridge dictionaries, Merriam-Webster are including more and more words, right? It's easy for you. Sarah Fairbuit, you have to have a driving license. Agar Audi Q7 كري أو technology تازيتها وأنا ويش بيمنيهم. Okay? So the first tip, تكاير. يلاش. The 20 tips to have effective self-directed learning. 20 tips. Kasper Siari يتكاير. أتواني برات الدرب. أتواني احتياجي هيج مشكلة مني. طب تكاير بيدا. طب زين لما هو تنجر بكسر يتكاير. أبي أواني بكي. Since you don't have a classroom, to keep you as focused as possible, this is the reality in self-directed learning, as your friend, you have to create your own studying space, atmosphere. Even it's important to organize a desk. Even in self-directed learning, you should have a desk. Get comfortable chair, laptop, books, notebooks you need, and some pens, pencils, markers. As soon as you sit on that chair, your mind will be prepared to commit to the goals of learning. Get dictionary. Get a dictionary. Chankas dictionary near. Okay, so get a dictionary. This is the idea. Your colleague said this is an ongoing process. Studying is an ongoing process. Or learning a language is not an ongoing process. So get a dictionary because you will get a lot of new terms, new words that you haven't encountered in the previous editions. Because as I definition vlogger, you can do like a vlogger, influencer. Here's social media. It's a standard word right now. A standard word in English language. Influencer, blogger, people who are writing about please. People who are trying to put their ideas in writings and having their own blog are called bloggers. People who are making videos in order to convey something to you is called a vlogger. People who are trying to promote something are called influencers. Nabuja. There is a new word in English that I'm using every time. Procreologens. Shaypichin oil company. They found that procreologens. When they were doing job interviews, they were seeking the following. Proactivity. مبادرة بين عربي. Creativity واضح. Intelligence. أو سيانا أو أنك job application يعني. So they are searching for procreologens. Okay. You can also use online dictionary like Merriam-Webster online, dictionary.com. It's available online. Best internet connection. Always search for definitions. Studies, textbooks, and other important materials are often written in a highly intellectual language. So you will need interpretations to understand what the authors are trying to say. So get a dictionary. Highlight. This is the common mistake by medical students always. They are doing like that. Okay. Okay. Stop. Learn from different mediums. Read relevant articles, journals, books, attend seminars, watch TV documentaries. A lot of documentaries available on YouTube, on Netflix. If you are trying to get what's the current situation, COVID-19, there are a lot of documentaries. Yes. Experiment with different mediums and focus on the one that inspires you the most. So this is our reality. أو زياتر interesting أبوتو. أمي أنا زياتر بو أو interesting. هم كاس حزي لفوتبول نيو. سواها لكور زياتر حزي لفوتبول. بعكس لو بقول يعني أبيت. So this is your personal choice. All are good. People, some are not eat meat, fish. هيش مشكلة كيشيني. allergy شيني. Yes. Don't limit yourself with a single source of knowledge. We don't have Bibles in medicine. Basic sciences, physics, chemistry, biology, they have laws in physics and chemistry. Medicine is evolving. Medicine is evolving. It's not stationary. It's a dynamic process. Ta parish kazne zain COVID-19 cheer. Wabu. So it's an evolving process. You should support always your ideas with references. We don't have laws in medicine. We have references, papers, research works. Sorry? Yes, evidence-based medicine. Let me tell you a small story. In the early 50s, in the early 50s, in the early 50s, it was, until the 50s, early 50s, it was quite common to promote for smoking. Asthma cigarettes. It was a prestige for medical doctors to smoke. Celebrities, Hollywood superstars and so on. So it was a prestige to smoke. A passionate doctor did something that was a big deal later. He searched for those who are having bronchogenic carcinoma, cancer of the lung. He did only one thing. He went to the ward, those people with bronchogenic carcinoma, asked one question: have you ever smoked? Are you a smoker? He found that more than 90% are smokers. So he linked smoking to bronchogenic carcinoma, lung cancer. It was something that he concluded. It's very interesting for you. Read history, always, especially history of science. There is a museum in London called Science Museum. It includes the first penicillin sample that Sir Alexander Fleming produced, the lancets, the things that Edward Jenner was using to inoculate people with smallpox vaccine. The Apollo 9 replica is over there. So you will see those people worked a lot. That's why they are better than us. This is the key step. Your friend who said that, someone said that, never listen to anyone. دكتور لأمريكا you know COVID-19 يجي لأمريكا نازن كوا تشيو زلمة. This is very common in the Oriental culture, Middle East culture. This is rubbish, nothing. Always, who said that? Say textbook كان تمكن كتبي medical treatise حتى مش كتبت still okay. In medicine we have Davidson in internal medicine. So every paragraph that you will find a reference. So medical textbooks are based on papers, research papers. It was good to smoke previously. They found that it can cause everything. So this is evidence-based medicine. It means I don't care. I want some evidence that this medicine is good for that thing. Hydroxychloroquine for COVID-19, it was rubbish. Nonsense. They tried to promote pharmaceutical industry, pharmaceutical companies. They are trying to get money from every human disaster. There's a trend always in human being that they can take advantage of every crisis. Yes, so follow the right channels to get your information. COVID-19 خلق social media بو دكتورة بلا social media يقصبك نعم يقصبك. In UK the NHS دائرة الصحة وزارة الصحة National Health Services دكتور مان هي ل UK ل فيني هي فيسبوك أكاونتي هي وروح حفتانه دو فيديو والله من بريطانيا ناتواني راي ما إلا صحة والبريطانيا فما قلت المستوى وزارة الصحة WHO بلا يكاتو في وزناك من سمياتو بشي باسي COVID-19 Find those materials and you will gain a whole new dimension of the topic you are focused on. قالت واحد بس المحكون اليوم موبايل سي كاميرا كيديو بس بو silly things بكاري يعني. This is the reality. بو شيء يعني بو انترتينمنت بكاري بينه. بكاري بينه ميوزك بو مش تيوش بشيء أساسي للحياة. هو ميوزك بلانش تيو أيتها أوني بكاري بينه. چوار کەس دانیشتون قساکەن بەیەکەوە مامباندا بەشێنا بەشتیشی وایە لە هەموو کەڵچەرێکا هەیە بەس دەوێت کەس دوایان ناکرێت خەڵکی ئێوە وەرێن مامباندا وەنیان شتێکی وایە شتێکی کابران بیدۆتەوە Experts. You want to know about COVID-19. Why you are asking someone that's not an expert, not a medical doctor? Why? Let's follow a herbal. They said that herb is good for COVID-19. So ask an expert. So if your car is broken, you should ask a car mechanic, not a medical doctor. Right? You can learn a lot from meaningful conversations. Yeah, alright? Yeah, conversation between two. Argument by itself. There is an argument. So conversation, so two brilliant minds are talking to each other. They have a conversation, right? No single word اللي أنا معناه بقصد Find people who are expert on the topics of your interest and ask questions. What you are? This is a technical difficulty, I know. I'm telling you that should be. He's not going to expert. Ask questions. This is the mentality in our society. I know. Wrong things will not justify the situation. He's not going to work. I know. Experts are very humble. أبي humble. أوانيك دائما زور قساءك وزور مصر الناس fanatic. They have nothing to give. So I'll teach you something. This is not for your level. It's very difficult. So Albert Einstein is saying, if you cannot explain it simply, so you know nothing about it. You should be able to simplify everything. So let's go back to the definition. The most characteristic features of a special subject, a special subject, not talking about the world or languages on a specific topic, in few brief phrases. Again, Albert Einstein is saying, everything should be made as simple as possible, but not simpler. Why? If it is simpler, it's meaningless. First year students, no, this is meaningless. Medical students, Surrey University, right? You will lose your time. So promise that when you are become an expert in something, will not do it again. There is a great movie, Kevin Spacey, Pay It Forward, Pay It Forward. So Kevin Spacey, He is a teacher. He's coming to the class, asking students. Students are scientists, not ruined by the society or by anything else. So, asking the students, fresh minds like you should invest in the future generations. Think about an idea to change the world, to make the world a better place, and tell me how to do it. So one of the, I'll not do us favor, safely investment fund. Russia, paid for it. Nothing beats one-to-one communication with inspiring people. Get away from negative people. Try to have positive or inspiring people. رجعنا بالسردي. هي بلا رأي الدنيا اللي بتشاو. واحد. دايما شتي نقدر. لا. شتي نقدر لها مو على معي. قالوا أبويا ويسا heaven أبو heaven مين؟ لو روح عشان. هم سوسايت بس ما يتباسي. أو أنا أكيد كأكريم. So inspiring people. Study every day. Every day. Weekend this is. It's better to study for half an hour every single day than to binge study for an entire weekend and then forget about your goal for the next several days. Routine is important. Organize your learning schedule in short, frequent sessions that will keep you focused on the material. It would be nice to ask for permission always. When you are leaving class, this is one of the basic protocols or etiquettes. You can ask for permission when you want to go out, but it's always something that you should do. Ask for permission when you are going out, okay? Don't assume everything you read is true. دو ساعات ليكتشر تاني اللي أنا زوج سابق يعني سابق غلط. أتوان دهوك مش غلط كان مش دهوك. لا أنا ما نماو. بيز خوي جارم شيء معنا كم يك دقة كاي. سير شارك درس معنا خلت شارك شيء استراحة دواني ساعدنا هو غلط أنا في You are not organized, you are not disciplined. That's the idea. We are obliged to do that. بقول هنا بنعمل. أو ما نزورك ساعات هي كم روي استراحة ورقة دواني ساعات نيوه هاتواني يعني. برسال لفوتان فوراس. تو يتواني بلانزوري كيا. دواني بتاني ساعات بخير بالفرق مستشار. أما ناكل بس. بقى. لا وبس ما. كيس لقد دواي جروكي. بچاني أنا وجو جاريش. لا make sure لا كا خذ 5 دقائق معه لو ساعة 5 دقائق كا بيدم it's a torture to teach a big class كسمان حزمة You are losing a lot of time because you are not disciplined. أمهم أقصى كدنو هستان ودانش مهم مي كاتبة متهاوب من مثلا. بس بين ساعات هي كم فرمو ديما جورو فرمو بروز درو يعني نازل ناخوش براس. خوي خوتني المتينان. إيوه هاتو الفيربو خوتن هاتو المدرس. كيفي بارشة. برو بليز. Behave like that. Okay? Let's go out Yeah, make sure to get to the bottom of the issue by conducting in-depth research. COVID-19 or منور. Agar superficially saying knowledge people like no information about it, you will get lost. a lot of pseudoscience, false information. لأمريكا والمشكلة لأمريكا نقلها أنتي فاكسرز لأمريكا زيادة منها محمد حياتي فوق ما كوكو دكتور كسر نبي نيوغل فاكسين ناكل نقل كوفيد 19 باز ناكل بيش كوفيد 19 but believe me it's a phenomenon in the States. Anti-vaxxers are very powerful. كسر نبي نيوغل استعمالي لا ملاطة يبلا من فاكسين ميزلز ومنا لكم ناكل لأمريكا outbreak جار measles outbreak. Don't underestimate your society. Make it better. Underestimate your society, your people.